Hey, hockey fans, welcome to Goal Line Hockey. Today, we're going to continue the Season Outlook series as we take a look at the Chicago Blackhawks. And as their playoff hopes continue to die slowly, after a great run the past couple of months, we will talk about and dissect everything with the Chicago Blackhawks this season. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe as well, guys. So, the Chicago Blackhawks, the modern day dynasty, one of the best hockey teams in the NHL for probably a decade. And things have unfortunately fallen off the past 2 years. Starting off with a 33, 32, and 10 record, 76 points for the Chicago Blackhawks. Coach Joel Quenneville only coached his team for 15 games. He went 6-6-3, and he's fired. He's booted from Chicago. And this young guy, Jeremy Colleton, the Rockford Ice Hogs, the Blackhawks affiliate AHL hockey team head coach, comes up to the Blackhawks and does not get a ton of praise to start. In warm-ups, when they announced the players and stuff, starting lineup and things like that, when they would announce Jeremy Colleton's name, the team didn't start so well, he would get booed. When his name was called, a little bit of controversy around that. This young guy, how is he going to handle the Blackhawks? Is he just an interim guy? What's going on with the Blackhawks? Obviously, we don't know how much longer he'll be here. But considering how the Blackhawks finished the season compared to how they started, that may have been a good move by Stan Bowman and the ownership in Chicago. Looking at the Blackhawks point leaders, staggering numbers here. So we got Patrick Kane, 102 points in 74 games played. Jonathan Toews, 74 points in 75 games played. Alex DeBrincat, 71 points in 75 games played. Erik Gustafsson, 53 points in 72 games played. And to top off the top five, Dylan Strome with 44 points in 51 games played. So the Blackhawks, Patrick Kane, no doubt, leading this team. He will lead this team in points for this season. He's got over 100 points already. And the only guy behind the second closest guy is Jonathan Toews with 74. He's got the top scoring spot for this team locked up this season. No real surprise to anybody. Patrick Kane has been so good for this team since he's been there, since he was drafted. Jonathan Toews, obviously the other guy, 74 points, 75 games, it's a point per game. He's been the leader for this team, and he is the guy that they look to in Jonathan Toews. Patrick Kane leads the way in points. Jonathan Toews, a little bit more defensive and a great leader all around. Alex DeBrincat, 70 points. That is unbelievable for Alex DeBrincat. And this is another guy, what a steal he was early in the second round for the Chicago Blackhawks. Didn't even have their own first round pick. They did have a second round pick. They used it on DeBrincat. And what a great deal that looks like for the Blackhawks. Another guy, Erik Gustafsson, came out of nowhere, and he's been one of the best defensemen. He has been arguably the best defenseman for this hockey team. You've got Duncan Keith. You've got Brent Seabrook. He's had a tough couple of seasons, Brent Seabrook. But I would probably say Erik Gustafsson, based off of this season alone, is probably one of the best, probably if not the best defenseman on the Blackhawks with 53 points. What a great story here with Erik Gustafsson. And to continue that along, Dylan Strome. He really struggled in Arizona. And they make the trade, Nick Schmaltz for Dylan Strome and Brendan Perlini. Perlini hasn't had as much success with the Blackhawks as Strome, but Strome, second line, third line center, and yes, he has some foot, He's not the cleanest with his foot speed and skating ability, but 44 points. If he has a 50-point season, another great story in the NHL is Eric Gustafsson and Dylan Strome. So looking at the Chicago Blackhawks and where they stand in the NHL, they're 7th in their division, in the Central Division, a tough division, but 7th is pretty bad. 22nd in the NHL, again, not great for the Blackhawks. Their goals for, 248 goals for, that's 8th in the NHL, so not bad for the Blackhawks. But goals against is 271. That's 30th in the NHL. That is not good for the Blackhawks. Definitely one of the worst in the NHL in terms of goals against. And giving a quick look at the Chicago Blackhawks, the future seems bright because they've got young guys. They've been drafting well. Stan Bowman's done a great job. And some of the guys that lead that list are Matthew Highmore, Nathan Noel, Carl Dahlstrom, who we've seen a little bit, and Henry Jokiharju, another guy we've seen a little bit. Those last two guys playing in Rockford of the American Hockey League. This is what the Blackhawks have. Yes, they're a little bit depleted with prospects, but these are some guys that they're hoping come into the lineup over the next 2-3 years and can make a big impact on this team. The salary cap has caught up with the Blackhawks. Obviously, losing guys like Panarin, and you go down the list. But it's not over for the Blackhawks. And how they handle this summer will hugely affect the next couple of seasons for the Blackhawks. Can they trade out Brent Seabrook? Do they trade out Duncan Keith? It seems like you've got Eric Gustafsson. Do you need another anchor in Duncan Keith, who is holding you back a little bit with his contract? Brent Seabrook, would Arizona take him? These are things that, maybe Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators are going to have a lot of salary cap this summer. Does Ottawa take a chance on Brent Seabrook? So these are some things to look at. And the Blackhawks, I'm really excited for the Blackhawks. And this season didn't go so well, but I think fans are just appreciative of the fact that they have stayed in the playoff hunt pretty much till this point. The other night they lost to the Arizona Coyotes at home, and that pretty much deflated things for the Blackhawks, and it's too much of a gap now. They've had a really good year, though, and they definitely should be proud of the way they played. Thank you guys for watching this video and watching us here at Goal Line Hockey. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe, guys, if you enjoy what we're doing here. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.